Are you ready for what's coming? The world is changing fast, and being prepared is no longer just an option, it's essential. Today, we're diving into the top 6 survival foods you absolutely need to stock up on before May 1st, 2025. Why the urgency? Because having these key items could make all the difference when unexpected events disrupt our food supply. Whether it's natural disasters, economic uncertainty, or supply chain breakdowns, being prepared with the right foods gives you and your family a priceless peace of mind. These aren't just any foods. They are carefully chosen for their long shelf lives, nutritional value, and versatility. The best part? You can start small, building your stockpile step by step. Don't wait until it's too late to act. Imagine a future where food becomes scarce. These 6 items could be the difference between thriving and surviving. Stick around as we break down each essential food item so you can get ahead of the curve. Trust me, you'll want to grab these survival must-haves while you still have the chance. Number 6, rice and legumes. All right, here's the deal. If you're serious about building a strong emergency food supply, there's one powerful duo you absolutely cannot overlook: rice and legumes. These humble yet mighty foods have been the backbone of diets across the globe for centuries, and for good reason. Whether it's beans, lentils, or just a big bag of plain white rice, together they bring an unbeatable balance of cost, nutrition, and versatility to your pantry. Why are they so important? Simply put, rice and legumes provide essential nutrients that your body needs to power through tough times. Rice is packed with carbohydrates, giving you the energy to keep going when days are long and resources scarce. Pair it with beans or lentils, and you've got protein and fiber to keep you feeling full, nourished, and strong. It's a nutritional match that can stand the test of time, making it one of the most reliable survival food combinations out there. Now, I know some people might find rice and beans a little, well, boring. But trust me, they're anything but that. These pantry staples can transform into hearty soups, comforting stews, or an infinite variety of side dishes just by switching up a few spices or adding in some canned veggies or meats. Creativity goes a long way with these ingredients, and when you're prepping, having options is a lifesaver. Speaking of survival, one big reason rice and legumes dominate the conversation in preparedness circles comes down to shelf life. If stored properly, we're talking 10+ years of fresh, edible food. Here's how you do it right. Pack them in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, then seal those bags in 5-gallon buckets. This setup protects them from moisture, air exposure, rodents, and most of the things that might ruin your hard-earned stockpile. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced prepper, following this method means you'll have food security for the long haul. Another huge advantage is price. Even with inflation driving grocery costs up, rice and dried beans are still some of the most affordable bulk foods money can buy. A 20-pound bag of rice, or 10 pounds of dried beans, costs a fraction of what you'd spend on freeze-dried meals or other long-term food options. That means you can build a hefty stockpile without burning a hole in your wallet. And in case you're wondering, rice and beans aren't just cheap calories, they're calorie-dense. 3 cups of cooked rice can keep your energy levels stable for hours, while beans provide the protein your body needs when fresh meat isn't an option. And here's the kicker. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Between supply chain issues, trucking delays, and unpredictable global events, the things we take for granted could disappear from store shelves faster than we'd like to think. By having a good reserve of rice and legumes, you're not just preparing meals, you're giving yourself a buffer. Some breathing room if times get tough and resources get. This power combo is one of the first food groups you should focus on stocking. Reliable, affordable, and easy to work with, rice and legumes aren't just survival food, they're peace of mind in a bucket. Don't wait until it's too late to start building your stash. May 1st, 2025 is closer than you think. Number 5. Powdered milk and dairy alternatives. All right, here's something you don't want to overlook for your emergency food stash. If you're someone who enjoys a splash of milk in your coffee, a bowl of cereal in the morning, or the richness that milk adds to recipes, powdered milk is going to feel like a game changer when life throws you curveballs. Why? Because fresh milk doesn't stand a chance in long-term storage. It spoils too quickly. That's why powdered milk has been a go-to staple in emergency kits for decades. But here's the cool part. Not only is powdered milk a great survival food, but there are now a ton of dairy alternatives in powdered form as well. For those of you who prefer plant-based options, or if you're lactose intolerant, Powdered almond milk, soy milk, and even coconut milk have become widely available. They rehydrate easily with water and bring their own set of nutrients to the table, like calcium, healthy fats, and essential vitamins. And these options aren't just for the health-conscious crowd. They're perfect for anyone looking to mix up their meals during a crisis. Now here comes the kicker. A lot of people don't realize just how vulnerable the dairy industry can be. Extreme weather events in key dairy-producing regions, staffing shortages on farms, and supply chain disruptions are making milk and other dairy products more expensive and harder to find. This means depending on the milk aisle at your local grocery store might not be something you can count on. Powdered milk, however, bypasses most of these issues. It's lightweight, compact, and has a shelf life of a year or even more. Once stored properly, in a cool, dry place away from moisture and sunlight, it becomes a reliable source of calcium and other nutrients for the long term. Another big plus? Portion control. With powdered milk, you only rehydrate what you need. No more worrying about finishing a full carton before it goes bad. For those of you who enjoy cooking, a few scoops of powdered milk can boost the nutritional value of soups, baked goods, and even smoothies. It's incredibly versatile, especially during times when you want to get the most out of every bite. And don't think you have to settle for something that tastes awful. The quality of both powdered milk and dairy alternatives has significantly improved in recent years, offering better texture and flavor. A quick stir or blend, and they're often close enough to the real thing to keep you satisfied. Plus, with so many brands out there now, you can find one that's perfect for your taste buds. When building your emergency stash, don't forget about your bones. Calcium and vitamins are often overlooked in a crisis when people are hyper-focused on stockpiling calories. Powdered milk is one of the easiest ways to guarantee your body is getting the nutrients it needs to stay strong. Whether you go for traditional dairy or a plant-based alternative, having these in your pantry could make all the difference. Don't wait until shelves are empty to secure your supply. Add powdered milk or dairy alternatives to your list today. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Number 4. High-calorie snacks. When you're in the middle of a crisis, sometimes you don't have the luxury of cooking up a hot meal. That's where high-calorie snacks come in clutch. These little energy powerhouses can be your lifesaver when you need to keep moving, think on your feet, or fuel up after hard physical work. Think about items like protein bars, energy bars, peanut butter, or trail mix. You can even go for specialized survival ration bars, which are specifically designed to give you a massive calorie boost in a small, portable package. Here's why they're so essential. Emergencies are unpredictable. You might find yourself chopping wood, carrying heavy loads, or even just moving continuously to stay safe or gather resources. All that extra activity, combined with the stress of the situation, can drain your energy really fast. High-calorie snacks step in right when you need them most, offering concentrated fuel without needing a stove, utensils, or even much of your time. Plus, they're incredibly convenient. Survival is all about adaptability, and quick snacks like these can fill the gaps when you don't have time to cook a full meal. Got a 5-minute break? Grab a bite from a ration bar. Need a midday pick-me-up while you're handling a tough situation? Dip your spoon into a jar of peanut butter. High-calorie snacks are all about efficiency, which matters a lot when every moment counts. But here's the thing people often overlook. These snacks don't just help you physically, they offer a psychological boost too. Imagine this. You're dealing with a lot of uncertainties, nerves are frayed, and you're eating the same old staples day after day. A chewy chocolatey protein bar or a handful of trail mix with salty nuts and sweet fruit can feel like a tiny piece of normalcy. It's that small comfort that reminds you to keep going. Ration bars in particular are a favorite in the prepping community. They're compact, shelf-stable, and don't need refrigeration or mixing with water. Some folks toss them in their bug-out bag, while others stash a few in their car or desk drawer for emergencies. Admittedly, the texture or taste might get repetitive if you're eating them constantly. But that's a small price to pay when you need reliable energy. And you can't talk high-calorie snacks without mentioning good old peanut butter. It's a powerhouse of protein, fats, and carbs all in one jar. It stores well if kept cool, doesn't need any prep, and can even be eaten straight off the spoon. Pair it with crackers, bread, or whatever you have on hand, and you've got yourself an instant energy boost. Trail mix is another golden choice. With its mix of nuts, dried fruit, and sometimes chocolate, it not only provides energy but also adds variety to your diet. That combination of salty, sweet, and crunchy helps break the monotony of emergency food staples like rice and canned goods. Bonus? It's lightweight and easy to stash wherever you need it most. High-calorie snacks are the unsung heroes of any survival food strategy. They complement the core items like rice, legumes, and canned proteins by filling in the gaps and keeping you fueled when the going gets tough. Whether it's a ration bar in your pocket, a jar of peanut butter in your pantry, or a bag of trail mix you toss into your bug-out bag, these snacks are as versatile as they are essential. When you're prepping your food stash, variety and balance are key. Make sure you've got some high-calorie snacks in your plan. They're not just convenient fuel, they're little reminders that you've got what it takes to power through anything that comes your way. May 1st, 2025 is closer than you think. Don't wait to stock up. Number 3. Freeze-dried meals. Here's a survival food that's been getting all the buzz lately, and for good reason. If you're serious about prepping for food shortages or supply chain crises, you need to know about freeze-dried meals. These aren't just for hardcore survivalists or backpacking enthusiasts anymore. With their incredible shelf life, lightweight design, and surprising variety, freeze-dried meals are a top choice for anyone looking to safeguard their future. What exactly makes them so special? Well, freeze-dried meals go through a unique process where moisture is completely removed from cooked foods while keeping the nutrients and flavors intact. The result? Meals that last the test of time. We're not talking a few months here. Stored properly in a cool, dry place, many freeze-dried foods can stay good for up to 25 years. That means once you've stocked up, you can basically forget about them until you truly need them. It's the ultimate peace of mind investment. And don't think you're just stuck with plain, boring options. These days, the variety of freeze-dried meals is mind-blowing. Companies now offer everything from hearty main courses like beef stroganoff, chicken and rice, to comfort foods like lasagna or mac and cheese. They've even got breakfast covered with freeze-dried scrambled eggs or pancakes. This variety has made freeze-dried meals much more appealing to families and even casual preppers. When the idea of a crisis feels distant, knowing you've got mac and cheese or lasagna tucked away makes the thought a little less intimidating. One of the best features of freeze-dried meals is their portability. Once the water is removed, the packaging becomes super light. Compared to canned goods or even some dehydrated foods, freeze-dried meals take up less space and weigh significantly less. This makes them perfect for bug-out bags or for loading into your car if you need to hit the road quickly. When you're on the move, every pound matters, and these meals deliver a lot of energy with very little bulk. Now, some people might point out that freeze-dried meals can cost a bit more up front, but think about what you're getting in return. You're not just buying calories, you're buying convenience, variety, and peace of mind. Plus, with rising inflation and unpredictable grocery store availability, the price actually balances out when compared to the security of knowing you've got ready-made meals for any crisis. Another reason freeze-dried meals consistently top survival lists is how easy they are to prepare. All you need is hot water. Open the package, add water, wait a few minutes, and ta-da, you've got a hot, satisfying meal ready to go. This is an absolute game changer if you're dealing with limited cooking resources or don't have the time to whip up a meal from scratch. With extreme weather events, geopolitical tensions, and economic uncertainties on people's minds, freeze-dried meals are becoming more than just a nice-to-have. They're a must-have for anyone looking to prepare for the unexpected. And with May 1st, 2025 looming as a date some are worried about for potential disruptions, now's the time to stock up. Freeze-dried meals are the perfect combination of convenience, variety, and long-term security. Don't wait until it's too late to add these to your stash. They could make all the difference when it matters most. Number 2, canned proteins. Here's the truth, folks. When it comes to prepping for a crisis or emergency, canned proteins might not be the most exciting items on your list, but they are absolutely essential. We're talking about canned tuna, salmon, chicken, sausages, or even old-school classics like Spam. These humble cans could be the difference between staying strong and energized or feeling weak and sluggish when fresh meat isn't an option. Why are they so important? Protein is a critical fuel source for your body. It helps you maintain muscle mass, keeps your energy levels steady, and supports general health. But here's the catch. A lot of fresh protein sources, like meat or eggs, spoil quickly without refrigeration. Now combine that with all the headlines you've seen lately. Labor shortages, droughts ruining crops, disease outbreaks on poultry farms. It feels like the meat section of your grocery store could get wiped out in the blink of an eye. That's where canned proteins come in to save the day. One of the best things about canned proteins is how easy they are to use. They're basically ready to roll straight out of the can. No need for refrigeration, no special prep, no complicated cooking process. If something major disrupts your access to clean water or cooking fuels, these cans can be a lifesaver. They're grab and go, and in an emergency, that simplicity is gold. You can toss some canned chicken into a rice dish or top off a salad with tuna. Even Spam, with its cult-like following, works wonders fried up in a skillet or just eaten plain in a pinch. And you don't have to break the bank to stock up. Compared to items like freeze-dried meat, canned proteins are often a much cheaper way to add meat to your emergency pantry. Plus, they typically last for several years when stored properly in a cool, dry spot. Rotate your stock as you go, so you're always working with fresh cans. This way, you avoid the dreaded scenario of discovering an expired can when you need it most. For those of you who prefer a more natural approach, don't worry. There are brands now offering options with lower sodium or without artificial preservatives. But regardless of what brand you choose, the key thing is having that source of reliable protein on hand. And here's one last pro tip. Start incorporating canned proteins into your everyday meals now. Whether it's tuna salad or chicken tacos, it's a great way to get used to the flavors and texture. That way, if you do find yourself in an emergency, there's no shock factor. You're already comfortable with the taste and know exactly how to use it. When you're prepping for hard times, variety is key, and canned proteins fit perfectly into the bigger picture. They complement staples like rice and beans, add versatility to freeze-dried meals, and, most importantly, they give you the vital nutrients your body needs to thrive under stress. Don't wait until it's too late. Get your canned proteins now and make them a staple in your emergency prep plan. You'll thank yourself down the road when these simple, practical foods make all the difference. May 1st, 2025 is just around the corner. Don't leave it to chance. Number 1, dehydrated vegetables. All right, when you're building your emergency food stash, don't make the mistake of overlooking this powerhouse essential. Dehydrated vegetables. Trust me, they're the secret weapon for keeping your meals balanced, healthy, and way more interesting during tough times. Now, I get it. When prepping, most folks tend to focus on carbs and proteins. Rice and beans? Got 'em. Canned meat? Stocked. But here's the thing. Vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber are just as crucial, especially in a long-term situation. If you're eating the same heavy staples day after day without any veggies, you could end up feeling weak or even dealing with bigger health issues. That's where dehydrated vegetables come in. Here's why they're a game changer. Dehydrated vegetables are lightweight, compact, and packed with nutrients thanks to the low-temperature drying process that preserves much of their original goodness. Think about having carrots, peas, bell peppers, and even tomatoes on hand, ready to turn your basic bowl of rice and beans into something way more delicious and nutritious. These veggies might not look like the fresh stuff you'd grab from the farmer's market, but in a pinch, they're pure gold. And here's something to consider. Fresh produce is one of the first things to disappear when there's a disruption in the supply chain. Why? Because it's fragile. It spoils quickly, it relies on cold storage during transport, and it often comes from hundreds if not thousands of miles away. If extreme weather, labor shortages, or transportation hiccups mess up the system, that beautiful produce section at your local store could turn into an empty wasteland overnight. That's why dehydrated vegetables are becoming a favorite among preppers. They're shelf-stable, easy to store, and ready to help you out when the fresh stuff is nowhere to be found. One of the coolest things about dehydrated vegetables is how much space they save. Compared to cans, they're lighter, more compact, and just as versatile. Plus, they can last a year or more if you keep them sealed and stored in a cool, dry spot. Of course, you will need water to rehydrate them, so make sure you factor that into your planning. But the trade-off is worth it because you're getting a nutrient boost that your body will thank you for. And here's a bonus. Some dehydrated veggies, like crunchy green beans or beet chips, make for amazing snacks straight out of the container. No cooking, no prep, just a healthy, low-calorie treat that's actually enjoyable. When it comes to preparing balanced meals during a crisis, dehydrated vegetables can make all the difference. Combine them with canned proteins or those freeze-dried meals we talked about earlier, and you've got the foundation for a diet that keeps you strong and energized, even in the toughest situations. Plus, having a bit of variety in your meals is a huge morale booster. Nothing kills motivation like food fatigue, and adding some veggies into your rotation helps keep things interesting. Look, prepping isn't just about stockpiling calories. It's about making sure you're set up to thrive in the long run. Adding dehydrated vegetables to your stash ensures your meals will have the essential nutrients your body needs to stay healthy. Don't wait until you're picking through the produce aisle only to find empty shelves. Get ahead of the game now and snag your supply of dehydrated veggies before May 1st, 2025. Your future self will thank you. The longevity of stored food is often threatened by three major factors: moisture, extreme temperatures, and pests. To combat this, many preppers rely on tools like Mylar bags, vacuum sealers, and oxygen absorbers to protect their supplies. While these methods may seem excessive to some, they can mean the difference between preserving your food or losing it to mold or insects. Some preppers also utilize cool, temperature-controlled spaces like basements, which naturally stay cool year-round, to keep their food in optimal condition. Paying attention to these storage details can ensure your supplies are usable when you need them most. Another key aspect of food storage is organization. Many preppers emphasize the importance of labeling and tracking inventory. With multiple containers or buckets of food, it's easy to lose track of what's inside or when it was packed. Labeling each container with its contents and packaging date can simplify management. Additionally, using a rotation system where you consume older supplies first helps keep your stockpile fresh and prevents waste. Even foods with long shelf lives will eventually expire, so consistent use and replenishment are critical to maintaining a functional supply. Cooking tools are another vital consideration when planning for emergencies. If the power goes out or you face a grid-down scenario, you'll need alternative ways to prepare meals. Tools like propane stoves, camp stoves, or solar ovens are popular options. Practicing how to cook with your stored food and these tools can help you avoid surprises during a crisis. It's also important to remember small yet essential items like a manual can opener, often overlooked despite the large number of people who stock up on canned goods. Water storage and filtration are just as important as food. Many survival foods, such as freeze-dried meals and dehydrated vegetables, require water to be prepared. Without access to clean water, these foods are essentially useless. Storing enough water or having the tools to purify it, whether from a river, rainwater collection system, or other source, is essential. This is why water storage and purification are a recurring topic in preparedness discussions. The urgency of building a reliable food stockpile is echoed across survival forums and articles. Some experts predict significant disruptions to daily life, with speculative deadlines like May 1, 2025. Whether this date holds true or not, the general advice is clear. It's better to prepare early than to face shortages later. Modern preppers are blending traditional techniques with technology, using apps or spreadsheets to track inventory, set reminders for expiration dates, and stay updated on supply trends. Online communities and social media groups are also playing a big role, helping members share tips, find deals, and exchange advice on everything from couponing to creative ways to prepare freeze-dried meals. The sense of community in prepping is often overlooked but can be a huge asset. Connecting with others can provide moral support, knowledge sharing, and even the chance to trade items. People often share recipes to make stored food more enjoyable, turning emergency rations into satisfying meals. Preparing for long-term food storage doesn't have to feel isolating. Knowing others are on the same journey can make it less daunting. Whether you have a spacious pantry or limited storage in a small apartment, the principles of prepping remain the same. By focusing on a variety of food types, covering calories, protein, vitamins, and even morale-boosting treats, you can build a well-rounded stockpile. This preparation ensures you're ready for potential disruptions like supply chain breakdowns, extreme weather events, or even global crises. Staying informed about food trends and expert warnings can help you make smart decisions about what to stock and how much to store. Planning ahead eliminates a lot of the stress and uncertainty that comes with sudden emergencies. When you see empty shelves or hear about supply chain issues, you'll feel reassured knowing you've prepared. In the end, taking the time to build a balanced food reserve provides peace of mind and protection for you and your loved ones, no matter what challenges come your way.